everybody. We're
Is
back.
this really working? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's the princess.
3 times is a charm, Mama.
I
We're
hope
not
so.
decided we weren't giving up after last week.
Yeah.
So
We
anyway,
didn't quit. We keep
didn't
at it.
quit. So if somebody could put a note in the live feed, we'll know that we're actually working.
Yeah.
We hope that people can hear us.
I'm going on anyway.
I just want to start by saying thank you. Our word last week was perseverance, and perseverance is very appropriate, Mom. You have gotten all kinds of new technology knowledge now, including downloading a new operating system. Crazy.
Don't mention that.
So, good job, Mama. So,
I didn't know what I was doing.
Well, it worked. Whatever it was, it really worked. So anyway, we can't see the feed now, so I don't know what's happening there, but we're going to have our session. We are not going to let anything stop us because we have a very important topic to talk about tonight.
Yes.
And what is it, Queenie?
It is encouragement.
Yes.
Something we all need, something we all give and receive every day. And it keeps us going. And it's so necessary when you want to be happy. I mean, we all need it. You go ahead and tell me about what happened this morning, Julie.
I will. Well, encouragement is something we need right now more than ever with the COVID, 19 continuing, and now with the protests and all that's happening in our country. We really need encouragement. We need to love each other and encourage each other, and we all have opportunities every day to do that. Every time we walk out our door, we can encourage somebody, and actually today was a day where that happened for me, where I literally walked out my door. So this is kind of a crazy God story. So I'll go ahead and start us off, and then we're going to hear from the number one encourager, the queen here, because you are the best encourager I know. So I was coming back from walking Toto, and my freezer went out this weekend. And so I had my things somewhere else, and my neighbor had some of my stuff, and she happened to have my coffee creamer. But it was early, and I didn't want to bother her. But as I walked by, I heard her window was open, and I looked in, and she was up. So I knocked on the door, and when she answered, she was having labored breathing. She was really struggling, and she has a pretty serious heart condition. So immediately when I saw her, I said, we got to get you to the hospital. And she was very, very reluctant at first. So she said, oh, I think I'm okay. I've been up all night, though, with this. And I said, well, I really feel uncomfortable leaving you like this. So I said, I'm going to come and check on you in a couple minutes. So I ran back to my apartment, and I called her daughter, and her daughter called her and kind of talked her into going. So 5 minutes later, we were off to the hospital. Thank the Lord, because when she got there, I found out that her lungs were completely filled with fluid. Her daughter was so grateful. But I mean, part of, I think, this whole idea of encouragement is noticing a need and then taking action. And I didn't plan to go to the hospital this morning, but I knew my neighbor needed to get there. She couldn't do it on her own. On the way there, we prayed together. She said she was really afraid last night. She didn't want to call 911. And I said, just knock on my door. I'm here. So, God's going to use us to help somebody. And other people will be helping us at times too. It's a two-way street. So yeah, I mean, that's, there's so many stories every day of ways, little ways we can encourage each other. And Mom, you're such a great example. I call you my Pixie dust because you are very good at kind of sprinkling joy and encouragement wherever you go.
I just don't even think about it. We had our first Bible class outside with our masks and our distancing, and we encourage each other in our Bible class. We're free to let it out, and every one of us cares. That's the big word too, to care about somebody. And I feel so blessed. I have never been happier in my life because God has chosen to be with me all the time, and I feel that. I feel the peace. And this morning was just a great example of people encouraging others. And so we're going to keep on going. I know with Follies even, I feel better than the audience. And I leave there so encouraged to go on, not
Yes.
quit. I don't care what.
We're never quitting. We didn't quit with the technology. We're not quitting with the encouragement. For those of you who don't know, Mom, also AKA Dancing Grammy, is a tap dancer, and she goes around. She's been doing this for what, 15 years now? Leading
18.
18 years, excuse me.
18 years,
leading a Follies group, going around to local retirement communities with just the mission to provide some joy and entertainment. And so that is her Follies group. But you've not been able to do it because of the virus. But I've been to so many of the shows, and how wonderful it is just to see these people sitting in wheelchairs with walkers, and you just make them smile, Mom, with your dancing. There's comedy. I love the comedy. Added. Of course, there's singing. So
I love to make a fool of myself.
You're a ham up there. I got some pictures.
I'll never see
I should have put some pictures up, but you're definitely an entertainer. So, but I love what you said. It brings you so much joy and so much. We can get so much back just from encouraging others and just knowing that we made a difference in somebody's life.
Even a smile for a stranger. I mean, they may not smile back, but I just enjoy smiling at them. And
it starts with a smile. Absolutely.
With this virus, we can't really be with each other, but we can call each other. We can write a little note.
Yes.
We can just care. That's the main thing.
Absolutely. There are ways to connect, and you have found them, Mom. You have found them even with technology. We've been connecting with our singles group like 3 times a week.
You're one of my biggest contributor as far as encouragement. Now that I've started my book, I have questions for Julie all the time. And just the way you say, oh, it's not that bad, when I think it's ready to tear up.
You're doing so awesome. So Mom is writing her first book, and this is very exciting. And not your last. You crack me up because I'll be like, you're telling me about all these chapters you've written. I'm like, what? Why did you write these chapters? And
I can figure them out, but as far as collecting them, that's going to be a long task.
Right. Well, but you know what, Mom? You've got to start. In like anything else, it's a process. And when I think of processes, and so much in life is a process, right? And that's why we need to encourage each other along the way, because so much of life is what's happening along the way, and we're growing.
I used to be, and that's a good thing, because we want to grow. We don't want to stay just without learning new things or doing new things, meeting new people. I mean, are we ever blessed? I think
we are so blessed. And again, it's just crazy how people come into our lives. Even this woman that has been making masks. So I met a new friend. I think I might have told you guys about it. She has cerebral palsy. In fact, I'll put the link to the story. She has made over 2,200 masks for free. And she is paying it forward. She's collected over 600 pounds of food. I do not sew. I cannot make a mask. But I've been her encourager, kind of behind the scenes, providing material and the, elastic bands and stuff. But we've become friends, and she is just so sweet. And yesterday, so a part of this crazy story of my neighbor, my freezer went out. So I was pretty hungry yesterday because I didn't have any food here. And I was so frustrated trying to get this technology working. And wouldn't you know, knock on the door, and who shows up? Like in that moment of hunger is sweet Tammy, who's made over 2,200 masks with homemade lemon blueberry bread. She's also a baker. I have been getting baked goods nonstop, and she actually has me baking. But I just thought, and I said to her, that just made my day. I was having this long day, working.
And the acts of kindness that Carolyn started in high school.
Exactly.
It was the best thing that ever happened to me. And just to get a little surprise, a knock on the door when you're not expecting it, I mean, anything, just the tiniest thing. And
Exactly.
it's
Exactly. Hey, we have some Irma people logged in.
oh, we
Vicky,
do.
I remember Vicky and Holly. Hello, Queens.
Good.
Hey,
Hi,
some of our Irma friends. This is where the whole crown thing started.
yeah.
And Cindy, we had a wonderful meeting. What an encourager Cindy
Oh,
is.
yeah. Cindy and
On the
Kathy.
writing front and branding front, and she met with us. And she and Kathy Kenny, who was Mimi on the Drew Carey show, they are a hoot, and they have a program every Thursday. They're the ones who gave
That's how I became a queen. I
Yeah.
heard my name called at the first conference a few years ago. I thought it was for the oldest person there. Instead, they made me a queen, and I
for the
love
most
it.
inspiring person.
That's what I wanted to be when I grew up, but I got it better late than never. I mean,
Absolutely.
and so I really use it too. Let me tell you.
Yeah, you do, and I love the new crown, and I'm glad you figured out how to keep that thing on your head because it's heavy. But back to Kathy and Cindy, they're these awesome women, and they have this Thursday during the day session just to encourage people and to connect. She realizes a lot of people are struggling with connections, and so I just it's amazing to me the people that God continues to put in our life and the ones that He keeps in our lives. You know, sometimes you meet people just for a moment. I met someone in the post office yesterday, and I brought my extra roll of tape, and wouldn't you know, this woman needed tape. And so I said, here, use my tape. And she was so grateful she didn't have to spend $3.99 on tape. And then a guy next to me.
What life is all about, Julie.
Yeah, it's just kind of keeping your eyes open and being on the lookout. And then this other guy, his name is Jed. I actually know him now. He saw I was mailing 50 children's masks that Tammy had made for our foster care program back at Traders Point. So I was providing those. So I was at the post office mailing them, and I was switching them to an envelope. And this guy saw all these masks, and he said, "Oh, can I buy one of those?" And I said, "Well, these are children." So anyway, I got him a mask today. I don't know. This mask thing is just kind of fun.
I know.
But you just never know how God is going to use you. And sometimes it's not even doing something. I'm a doer. I think we come from a long line of doers, Mom. We're workers.
We do.
You need us to work hard.
All of you when you were growing up.
Yes, you did.
Television, no, nothing.
We were workers. There was no idle.
Get those scholarships.
Yes, but I think something really important when it comes to encouragement, and we talked about this last night in our Bible study, because Barnabas is the son of encouragement. Acts chapter 4 is my favorite Bible character, and how you never hear his voice in Scripture, but he's always there, encouraging, kind of behind the scenes. And sometimes I think the lesson from Barnabas is just to be present, is to show up and to be there for people, because sometimes, especially in a time of loss, there are no words. And just showing up and being there can make such a huge difference in somebody's life. And you know, so that lesson really came home when Dad died. And Beth, I mentioned this last night, Beth Casho, you remember Beth from high school, my wonderful high school friend, she just stayed. I don't remember a word she said, but she just sat in the back of that room, and I knew she was there. And I think, you know, even today on the car ride with my neighbor Marge, she said, "Julie, I just felt so alone and afraid." And just being there for somebody in a time of need. And I just said, we're just going to, you know, I didn't talk much. I said, we're just going to get you to the hospital. I was driving fast. I'm like, ooh, I was a little nervous because the breathing was so labored. So, so anyway, there's lots of ways to encourage. And you're the number one encourager, Mom, in my life. And I'm just so grateful. You've always been there for me throughout my life. And so I think it's great that we've teamed up on the writing and our videos. So now we can encourage each other. And who knows what's going to happen with all this. But it's sure is fun. Now that we think we've tackled the technology issue. We have you that we had to bring in Scott. We had to bring in my friend Scott. It was like, we were gonna persevere in encouragement. Our word last week was perseverance, so we're going to combine them. We lived the lesson of perseverance.
That's
So
right. And
anyway,
it's so wonderful to have all our friends, family, all the people that support us. We love you and we'll never give up. We just feel very blessed. I know I do so
we are
much.
very, very blessed. And yeah, we just want to be a blessing to others. And that's what we're trying to do with these new Porchcasts. They're now Facebook Lives, but formerly our Porchcast. And who knows when we'll be back on the porch. But we're gonna do this every week right here
Oh yeah.
at 7 o'clock
Different word,
time.
different word.
So we hope you come back. If you have any suggestions or topics you would love us to cover or like us to cover, put them in the feed, leave us a comment. But we're really trying to pay attention, obviously, to what's going on in our world and to cover some topics that are relevant. And like I said in the beginning, we all need encouragement right now. And one way we can really encourage each other is through prayer. I think there's power in prayer, and we need God more than ever right now. So we're just going to keep praying for each other and for all that's happening in our world right now. So yeah.
Pray for you, all of you that are listening. I mean, I just talk to God. I don't have formal prayers or many times, but I just talk to Him, and I know He's taking care of me. Wants me to stick around for a while. I've got a lot to do. Let me tell you.
You have a lot to do. You've got a couple books in you, Mama. You're not going anywhere. Up, the Queen has spoken. It is over, people. So we're so glad that you tuned in, and we're going to be back next Monday. There she goes. Okay, God willing, technology willing, we will be back next week.
We will.
And share the link with your friends. We love you. Take care.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Encourage. All right. Bye-bye.